All right, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, guys. Today's mow day. We are going to be taking care of some mowing. We've got our 5075E here, and it's time to go ahead and tackle some of these pastures. Let me kind of tell you about the story about our pastures, my frustrations. There's not a lot of positive, but my frustrations. We've got ourselves our nice tractor here. We've got our E12 John Deere E12 mower. It's a 12-foot Batwing, flex wing, whatever you want to call it. Both wings go up and down. The sucker's a beast. I've taken it through some stuff I probably never should have, but it's done just fine. It has been an animal for us, right? And it's hooked up to our 75 horsepower tractor. So you guys have seen some mowing videos before with us. We've got to tackle some mowing now, but we've set this thing up pretty much with the idea of what we're doing. I put dual remotes in the back. The green is for one line, the blue is for another line, so dual. And I got a front remote also for up here. So I've got a bypass, I forget what it's called. Anyway, third function valve complete, not like just this bypass stuff. It's actual like third function. So this thing is set up real nice for it. Widened out the front tires. I do have weight ballast in all the tires. And anyway, it's really good setup. I've done a lot to this thing, mower-wise, but this is what's at store today. I have planted grass, and if you look at the grass, you can kind of, I think, maybe see some lines. That is our Bermuda. That is what we planted in April. We had some good rains, and then June, it just died. We have not received rain for over a month of anything of substantive measurable rain in any way. So our pastures are just looking like this. The only thing that has grown is this tall sunflower weed junk. It's not even sunflowers, guys. It's just weed crap. And so my concern with all of this is that these weeds actually take the sunlight and nutrients away from the grass. So I'm not helping myself here by trying to plant grass when it's trying to combat itself and fight for sunlight and everything from all these guys. I'm 6'3", that guy's 5.5 or more, that guy's 6 feet up right here. So this stuff just grows and it just gets thick. So we're gonna mow this down, at least in this pasture. We've got another pen over there, and then we've got pastures 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those 4 pastures, 4, 5, 6, and 7, equate to about 55, 60 acres. So saplings and other things we're going to be fighting. So we can get some stuff that's going to be pretty big. We can get some stuff that's kind of small. It's going to be a mixture of stuff that we're going to be running over with this Batwing. And I know if you guys look at these videos that I've had before, I don't baby this thing. It is used, some would say abused, but it has been well loved. I'm getting my money out of it, and that's just the way it's going to be. So anyway, got it all hooked up. As we're going through some of these places, I'll show a little bit before and after. This is a before, guys. I'm at the gate. This is what it looks like. Not much point talking, right? So let's just get on this sucker. And see how this goes. So this is actually higher than what it's going to be. I can all right, so that raises and lowers everything. The way you preset it, guys, is these collars. This is the main drive here that lifts everything. So I've got collars set in it right now to maintain a set height. I could add some, I could take away some. It is just the way it is, and that's how it's set. So this should be about 6 inches. And I've set it maybe a little bit higher, actually. I set it at that because I don't want to fight grinding into the ground and chopping it really too short and just bogging out. So I've set it a little bit higher because I just want to keep these things trimmed at a nice height. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to buckle up. Let's get to this and start mowing. got to roll with it. And I've actually thought about getting a different kind of mower, to be honest with you, but I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. So let's get back to getting some of these big guys. Benefit to trimming the grasses. If you let grass grow too much, they start to brown out, starts to go to seed, and the nutrient level drops, and then it kind of hibernates. If you can keep trimming the grass, you know, to about 6 inches, 8 inches or so, and keep it kind of nipped down, then it'll regrow and keep regrowing and stay pretty potent and healthy. I've let this stuff grow too much, and it kind of died off, and all the weeds took over. So I need to just do a better job cleaning it up. Things are folding down because they're so tall, and then the air doesn't suck them back up. So I'm gonna have to come back over and go backwards on them just to get them to kind of fully mulch to get captured. You can see they just come right over and they fall down. So I'll just take a couple other swaths. But what I wanted to show you was in the far side, you can see the greenness. The grass is actually coming back, guys. The grass is there. That's what I want growing all the time. I'm trying to get there. Just need a little bit more rain and a little bit more sun. Because I think, partly on my experience, the hydraulics hang off to the right. And so when I drive, I don't want to ever bind them up in the tread, and the tread will kind of kick up on them a little bit. So if I go to the left, then the back wheel is on the opposite side of all the hydraulics. So that's what I like. If you guys mow and you have something like this, do you guys like to turn a certain direction? You guys like left or right? Frankly, I don't think it really makes a difference. I've always liked turning left. All right, guys, done mowing this little pen. So this is pen B. Obviously it looks a lot better than what it did. This is the after shot, guys, before I was standing over on that far side. But we do have grass, we do have a bunch of things, we do have a dead tree. I should have cut this down last winter, but I didn't. And got a bunch of stuff down here, so I couldn't really mow a lot. But here's a couple of things I've been thinking of, guys. If you notice actually up here, you can see the sand patch right up there. We actually have a lot of sand. And if you've been following the channel, you know I've said that before. Sometimes digging holes is super easy, but getting posts to stay is another question. And so when we were selecting our grass, we needed something that grew in sand and did well in sand. And so one of the options was a Bermuda, right? Does really well, withstands the heat, does good in summers, things of that nature. And maybe this right here, this green stuff that I pointed out, maybe this is a Bermuda. You know, I don't know. But for all I know, that's a Bermuda, and that's what I wish we had more of. Well, we planted it all around, and it hasn't taken yet, right? So, I mean, we've gotten some stuff that comes up about like this, but then it died off and stopped raining and so forth. I'm hoping that it's hardy enough, that it's established enough that when the rains do come, it'll start growing again. Now, my concern, as I said with about a mower before, is this E12 does a fabulous job and covers a lot of ground, mows a lot at one time. I really like that. However, this sand, you can see it leaves marks. So you can see tire marks. And when I turn corners, like over on this hill, you start digging in. And what happens is, I'm afraid, is that the footprint of the tractor, it's such a heavy tractor, and the tires are only so big that it actually bites into the sand as I'm going around these corners. And what can happen is maybe that I'm uprooting the grasses, okay? Especially the ones that have just planted. So I'm probably not doing myself a ton of favor by mowing it. And that's kind of why I've let this stuff grow as tall as it was I didn't want to trim it and come over with a tractor with the ag tires and start going at it. And doing just like what this is, where it's just, you can see it bites into it, and you know, just kind of, I don't want it uprooting everything that I just planted, so I thought I'd give it a little while. But then this is Pen C, where we're going next. You can see that, I don't know if that's goat weed and all the sunflower crap. Anyway, it starts shading everything else out, and then it doesn't grow. So it came to the point where I've just got to do something, and so that's why I'm mowing it today. But I'm going to mow Pen C here, and then we're going to move on to maybe some pastures where the buffalo are at, because I'm mainly concerned about the saplings in pasture 4 and 5. So this is a before picture, guys. Not a ton of tall stuff, just weeds. I'm just going to try and keep weeds down. Try and trim out everything on the first pass, and then I'll put you guys on a loop. You guys can see all the stuff I'm doing. I'm going to back up into here actually and try and get some of this down. This isn't easy when you got only one hand, guys. better. All right, so there's a few things I gotta bring up with you. I've always hated when people drop stuff and just leave trash in the grass and the pastures instead of just throwing it away. So I'm going to show you what I just ran over, and I'm going to check it out on the blades at some point. But going through all these trees gets a little hairy, guys. And you start finding stuff that you didn't know. It starts getting uncovered from the sand. And you can see right there through that opening what kind of stuff you run over. So I don't know if you can see it right there. That is a wheel or a rim for a tire. And so I nicked that right on the edge, and you can see it dented. So I gotta pick that up. In here, I can only get so close and in so many different crevices. And so I brought up with you guys about buying another mower, and so this is part of it. Before I mentioned all this sand up here in pen B, you know, it's all right here as well, and I'm just tearing up the grass and the seedlings. And if I had something that had a lighter footprint. Also, my other problem is I've got trees and the spacing gets crazy. And here, it's just, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be able to get through here. I can get through this other area. Woo, straddling the wrong kind of plant. All right, I could get through here, but just barely. I can't get through here and so forth, right guys? So this is what I'm wondering if I need a different mower. Options are I could get a 3-point hitch mounted one just on the back of the tractor. I don't know that I really care for those as much, but it would give me a narrower presence. I could probably navigate through here a little bit better. For example, this spot. The other option is like a Ventrac. I wonder what the blades will do. That is what the blades will do, guys. Oh boy. Just because I'm not going to be mowing right there, I'll tell you that. All right, so I can get a 3-point mower, possibly go in the back. It's going to stick out, and it'll be about 72-inch wide, so about 6 feet. Those aren't going to be as much as a Ventrac. A Ventrac, I'll put a picture here. It's a front mower, and it's got dual wheels, extra wide footprint. It's not as hard on the ground, and a 72-inch deck, so it'll be able to go through here as well. So the only concern I have about getting a Ventrac is the fact by the time you get the dual wheels, you get the cup mower in the front, it's open cab, but you're pushing $40,000, and that's just a lot of money. So I just can't, man, I just don't know that I can spend that much. All right, guys, the camera got too hot, quit working on us, so we are done mowing, actually. I got all those things done. You saw the after pictures. I did pen A, which is just right over there. It kind of looks like the same as the other stuff, so I'm not going to show it to you. But I did want to go over that rim. You know, we went over that rim. These are the blades. And they don't look super bad at all. So anyway, just clipped right into that sucker. So if you're ever wondering if you want to stand in front of a mower and get mowed, you don't. It went and just ripped that metal up. But E12 did really well. I'm actually gonna be parking this because we're gonna have to be delivering some hay to the buffalo at some point. And coming up soon, we'll just give you an update about where the buffalo are at. There's actually been some positive signs. We've been adjusting their feed schedule. We got a bunch more feed too, so we'll cover that over in another video. But this guy has done really well. The 5075E pulled it without any problem. So this has been a really good tractor. Now I know some of you guys might ask, hey Jeff, summers suck, why didn't you get a cab? And frankly, it's because, you know, as you guys were there, you hit low branches. And I've got so many trees around that I can't just trim up every single tree. I mean, it's just gonna take, I mean, there's like 1,000 or more trees. So a couple of reasons. One, I did not want to have to worry about hitting a tree and breaking the glass. That glass, curved glass, it's way expensive, freaking expensive. I did not want to have to do it because I know I was going to hit a tree. Second reason, I didn't want the added weight up above the axles. Since I've got hills, I didn't want any more weight than I had to. Third reason, I kind of figure, look, if I'm not man enough to drive my tractor, then why have a tractor, right? So I think it's kind of some of the manly macho-ness. you pick your times to do it. You don't do it in the middle of the summer in the middle of the day for 12 hours. So you just pick your time and you go with it. So I did not get a cab for that. Fourth reason I would say is because air conditioning. You might say, well, geez, Jeff, that's what you want. Not when I swear it's gonna break. It's just gonna break. It's just gonna be a hassle. How many people do you guys see on YouTube that have tractors and the AC doesn't work? Now, sure, it's like a 5-year-old, 8-year-old tractor, but still, now I've got to worry about AC in that. It sucks enough worrying about AC in any of my vehicles. I did not want to worry about it on a tractor. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing all put up. I've blown it off a little bit here, and we're gonna call it a wrap. So I thought I'd just take you with me as we went into these pastures about why we've been waiting so long. I kind of hesitate still to pay that much for another tractor, that Ventrac. Maybe this thing is good enough just to do it. It's just not super maneuverable, and there's limitations to what I can really do and where I can go. But are those disadvantages worth $40,000? I don't know. So I tend to think not. Anyway, I'm gonna put this away. We'll catch you guys next time at Blackacre Ranch. Remember, like and subscribe, keep with us. We're gonna be starting this house soon. At some point, I've just been like, gosh, it sucks to do this in the summer and in the heat. So I've kind of been just putting off this whole thing. So anyway, today, before I go home, I'm gonna try and get some more dimensions, plan this out and see if we can just work mornings and limp this thing along. So anyway, we'll catch you guys next time. Blackacre Ranch, bye.